The origin people of Malaysia, they called as Orang Asli. They were divided into three categories as Negrito, Sinoy and Proto-Malay. Negrito is known generally confined to the northern portion of the peninsula, Sinoy residing in the central region and Proto-Malay residing in the southern region. Orang Asli are traditionally enemies where they believe in the presence of spirits in various objects. However, in the 21st century, many of them have embraced monotheistic religions such as Islam and Christianity, following some active state-sponsored dakwah by Muslims and evangelism by Christian missionaries. As we know, they stayed at jungles near rivers. Their house made with bamboos and wooden houses. In the year 1954, under the Malaysian Ministry of Rural Development, there were an agency called Government Jakwah, Jabatan Kemajuan Orang Asli, were formed and active to directly connect with Orang Asli people. Some decades back, with collaboration of Jakwah and some NGOs, takes a lot of attempt to develop a civilized them. In recent years, as the reward to their attempts, most of the Orang Asli people were civilized, and the main thing is they were overcome from the inferiority complex.
In a period of time, the Malaysian Orang Asli community is known as the Sons of Liberty, and in the most recent years, despite the overwhelming support of the government organization, Jakwah movements, and NGOs in the development of their project, most of the Orang Asli still believes in the power of spirits who are said to be their source of help in time of need. Traditional medicine or witch doctors act as a medium to communicate with the invisible power. This communication process is carried out during rituals on special days such as Pujang Pantai for the Mahmari, Gelugong for the Semai, Sewang for the Semai, and Cemiar and Genjorong for the Jaguar. Of these medical plants and animals and hunting industry are often resulting in the jungle area. It has now known to be more fashionable.
When we heard about the life of Orang Asli, the first thing that attracted our attention is their culture, especially the wedding event of them. Even though they were civilized, but they still never forget to follow their tradition. Among the developed states in Malaysia, Selangor in top rank. In Hulu Langat district, there are 10 villages recognized as Kampung Orang Asli. Most of them are Proto-Malay community peoples. Let's watch the wedding ritual of Orang Asli who were civilized.
This beautiful old village is recognized as Kampung Sungai Lalang Baru. This village is one of the Orang Asli village among the other 10. In this village area, approximately about 150 families are resident here. Furthermore, some of them have migrated from the village area, but they will gather at the village for their ritual activities with their friends and family. Moreover, even in living, lifestyle and economical, they are very civilized. They never miss to celebrate religious events according to their traditional ways. Therefore, no matter what kind of celebration, ceremony or activity, they tend to fix an awning with a bamboo stick and they will gather around to cook together for the particular ceremony. watching a wedding ceremony of Proto-Malay community peoples who are civilized in Hulu Langat district, and at the same time there are certain elements of their wedding rituals which are similar to the Malay wedding. According to their culture, they are required to wear the wedding costume based on their ethnic groups. Hence, while the bride's face covered with a leaf fan by the bridesmaid and wait for the groom, a representative from the bride's family will bring the groom and make them both to sit on the wedding stage. Both representative person of the couples hold their hands as the symbol of doing the agreement to their wedding, while the representative of the groom gives the dowry to bride's representative. Marriage is done by both the respective bride parents. The ceremony begins from Malaysia until a person has become legally married couple. A amount according to their capabilities will be given as dowry with some clothes and accessories for the bride. The Orang Asli have unique wedding rituals, and at the same time there are certain elements of their wedding rituals which are similar to the Malay wedding, which is merisik, meminang, and the wedding rituals that are still being practiced by the Mak Meri in Kampung Tanjung Sepat, Selangor. There are the ritual to get rid of bad luck. The most important ritual in their wedding is feeding gelatino rice, cigarettes and bitter leaf. This is a symbol to show the beginning of their life as the sweetest gelatino rice. Many aboriginal people married at a very young age. For men, age 18 years is the most appropriate age for getting married, while women were aged 16 years and shall not be more than the age of the man. Normally, men and women have relationships such as brother, cousin or second cousin as the same ethnic groups. It is not an offense if the prospective groom to marry a woman from another tribe, but the wife must enter the husband's ethnic groups. Usually, the bride will live in the groom's house for a few days before they return back to the bride's home to stay another few days. This ritual is very important so that the bride and groom can quickly be friendly and adapt with their new family members.
Jaguar also maintain a museum for Orang Asli. We can see a lot of heritage objects of Orang Asli. This may help the future generation to know about the lifestyle of Orang Asli. It also attracts the tourists to visit our nation.
Orang Asli Museum history started in the year 1987 at an old wooden building, which was the official residence of former director of Orang Asli Affairs Department. Later in the year 1995, end of the Sixth Malaysian Plan, the Jaguar official built a new brick museum at a cost of 3.5 million. It was completed and handed over to Jaguar on 19 June 1998. The museum was officiated by the 11th Sri Paduka Baginda Yang di-Pertuan Agong Sultan Salahuddin Abdul Aziz Shah Al-Hajj Ibni Almarhum Sultan Ishamuddin Alam Shah Aj on 2nd March 2000 and was known as the Orang Asli Museum. The role of the museum is to collect, preserve, record and display items that portrays the lifestyle of the Orang Asli in the old days, so as to maintain the nation's heritage. The museum has currently a wide range of large posters, photography pictorial, ethnographic maps, mannequins with aboriginal dresses, musical instruments, traditional hunting gears and tools, traps for small animals and fishes, cookery pots and utensils, model dwelling huts, some primitive tools used for healing illness, including their taboos and etc. Music forms part of their lives used in a form of entertainment. Basically, their music is produced using instruments that need to be drummed, blown, violin light and hit like the gong, chentong, bamboo guitar, crab, pensol and chentong chentong. Jewelries are used to attract the male and female. Some jewelries is made out of tree roots, beads and flowers which are designed to form bracelets, necklace, comb and others. Clothes are material used to cover the private parts of both the male and the female. Originally, their clothes were made of leaves and the outer layer of woods. Technology and development have existed for a long time in the Orang Asli, and this is evident from the process of making clothes from woods with its very high artistic value. Wood carving and crafts are the products of the Orang Asli creativity based on their nature and their beliefs, especially in weaving of mengkuang and pandan leaves, bamboo and cane. In wood carving, all creation depend on imagination and dream that despite good and evil forces which are related to their beliefs and lifestyle. The Orang Asli uses many different types of hunting weapons that are basically made of material available around them. The weapon include blowpipe, spears, and traps. Fishing equipment includes bubu, luka, tua, and other. At present, these tools are still being used, especially by the Orang Asli living in the remote areas. The main mode of transportation is perahu, known as small dugout canoe, and rakit, known as raft made out of collection of bamboo bound together using rattan. This enables the community to visit each other and transport goods. The Proto-Malay who lived along these coastal areas used perahu for fishing in the sea. The home for each ethnic tribe is dependent on their taboo beliefs, type of daily activities, and safety concern. As such, Negrito lived in the simplest form of house made out of a collection of leaves and bamboo poles placed together in a form of shelter. The Sinoi is more organized with homes made higher above the ground to avoid wild animal disturbance. Woven leaves for the wall and sometimes live in long houses known as rumah panjang with communal area for the social activities. The Proto-Malay lived in the houses similar to Malay houses which still can be found in areas far from Klang Valley. For further details on visiting the Museum Orang Asli, it is open from Saturday to Thursday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., closed on Fridays and open on weekends and public holidays. The entrance fees are not chargeable.
Although these pleasant people civilized, they never forget their native culture. But there are some of our community people still teasing and discussing them. Yet, Orang Asli people never been involved in illegal activities or they never been seen as a nuisance for anyone or the nature.